Have you ever considered how mediums like anime play with something as simple as perspective to enhance a story? Here, let me explain. More often than not, instead of viewing the story through the eyes of a character, perspective functions more as a perimeter, with the camera existing in spaces around a character. Now, visual storytelling doesn't follow that rule of proximity concretely. It's more of a base that scenes are built around, that they constantly step away from and then back to. An establishing shot doesn't necessarily indicate anything through the eyes of a character, but it does give information to the audience about their circumstance. The best metaphor I can think of that's still not very good is an elastic leash that can be pulled pretty far away but eventually wants to come back, and can be handed between characters during the scene. This is getting really complicated quickly, but the shorthand is that perspective exists in a much more nebulous place when it comes to visual storytelling. The easiest way to view it is to look at it through a number system that indicates the degrees of removal from the perspective character. 1 would be literally looking through the character's eyes. This shot is pretty rare. 5 would be a full step away, information the perspective character can't know about, leaving 2 to be an intimate shot, 3 to be a standard shot, 4 to be a half step away. And to understand that better, there's actually a really good concrete example, the opening shot of the episode we're going to be focusing on today, Frieren's 6th episode of its 2nd season. This episode of Frieren starts much differently than any previous one I can think of. We're thrown pretty quickly into chaos. We start with establishing shots, a bird's eye view of a city on fire. Then the perspective shifts. We join a man hiding and afraid. The crowded framework of looking through these boards not only indicates where he's hiding, but also gives a sense of claustrophobia. Then there's sound, a rattling staff. We're still in his perspective even though we see someone walking. We're not given information of who or what it is, we just know it to be the source of the sound. Then there's a close-up, the man still panicking. This is where the perspective turns more literal, seeing what he sees as people are being killed and the city's being destroyed. There's a shot that's a full step away, information he can't possibly know, but then it directly interacts with him. Before finally the perspective is handed off. We follow a set of guards trying to protect a city before transferring to another one, sending out a message. Then we end on this beautiful shot, especially given the topic of perspective, that introduces a new antagonist, likely the villain of this arc. This all demonstrates how perspective is used in any given scene. Visual storytelling often wants to ground information being presented with some sort of point of view, a character you can to some degree project onto or empathize with, even if it's a nameless soldier or citizen in a chaotic setting.